Okay, now what we will do, we will need a view to hold this thing. Okay, so let's come back into our layout and make a view. Make that view that we need to load into our recycler view. So we will come to the layout, right click, new, and we need a layout resource. So we'll make a layout resource and we will call this layout resource is Unsplash list grid list, or just list. That's better. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now we have the layout. What we need this layout to show, we need this layout to show a picture and the name of the category that we need to pass in here. Okay, I think we're better to download an image and work with that image here in our video. And this is the image that we got. Let's put it in our desktop. Perfect. The image name, let's change the name to change it to something else. That's good. Make sure you have only this type of character inside your any file you will add into your Android project. So this is this one. Then what you will do, you will come to drawable, and we will get this file. Okay, how we can get this file? We have very good plugin. You have to install this plugin. Actually, how you can install the plugin, it's really easy. You come to the Android Studio, then you will go to the preference. When this open, you will come to the plugin. Then in here you can just select whatever they got, or you can install it from the JetBrains. Okay, so when you got this to this point, then search for batch drawable importer. After you will install that, make sure to restore or restart your Android, and you are good to go, and you can get the information or the image from here. So when you click, this page will show up, and you can simply choose the file that you want. And inside my desktop, the file I want, this is the one I want. Then what we'll do, it will going to look at the file, and it will show up this type of information that we got. But we don't need to be that big. It's really big. So what I will do, I will change the size of it to, for example, let's say 1500, like this. It's much better. Okay. Then we say okay. Then we say okay. Now this image should be available for us. There you go. It needs some time to processing this situation that we got, and now we have the image here, and the image is have 5 different type of image, which is HDPI, MDPI, and XHDPI, and XXHDPI, and XXXHDPI, which used for different type of device. Okay, so for example, if the device is small, it will give a small resolution. So if the device or the memory of the device cannot handle XXHDPI, it will automatically choose the one that it will well will work in the device. So what we need an image. So we will drag the image into our layout, and we will choose the image that we just add, which is this one. Lovely. Then we will connect this just like we did it before. We will constrain it to all the side of the of this layout: top, right, left, left, and bottom. Okay. Then what we will do, we will need to change the layout height of this to wrap content, and make sure you will choose the wrap content to high, and match parent for left and right, and make sure we not have any margin for the image that we got. Lovely. But I think we better to set up our height by ourselves, and we in our case we will say 130 dp. The height, it will be this much big, and the problem as showing this way is because we haven't choose, or we haven't used the type of our layout. So what we will do, we will come to the scale type and change the type of, for example, crop central like this, or any other type we can choose by information. It will show up inside your layout. Lovely. Okay, then after we did that, let's think about that. For example, this image, it will going to show in a row, right? So it will not be good to stick together one by one. So make sure we give some margin to the bottom and to the top. Actually 8 is good. Let's, oh, come on. And 8 is good, and make sure to change it to oh yeah, we don't need to change that. Okay, why we don't need to change that? Because we the other layout, which is the parent, have a wrap content. If we choose this, then it will automatically match it to the parent, and the parent is wrap content. That way it will close up and didn't show anything. Okay, now we need a text inside this image, so we will add a text in here, and if you see, the text it's on the top, right? So all you have to do, constrain it to right and left and the bottom and the top. Then it will automatically go to the exactly middle of this layout, and we will change the size of this for bold, and we will use this type for to be 30, for example, and we change the color to be white. Lovely. Let's see. Let's copy this guy right here and change the name to be this. Nice. Perfect. Now all we have to do, give the ID. So the first one, it will be let's say category text, and the second one with the which is an image, we will name it category image, and we have to say yes, because it will going to change whatever it need to be changed. Okay, Now we're done with layout, and the layout is really smooth and nice. And let's go back to the Unsplash adapter, and now we can access this to value from here. How we do that? We will say val category name equal to item view. So the item view, it's those items we added into our layout. Then we say find by ID, and the ID for the first one, it's text view, that one. And the ID, we can just say r dot ID dot the name of the ID that we have. I think we are okay, so let's remove this R here and we name it category text, right? Then go back to the R and click the Alt and return to import this R. Okay, the second one we have val category image URL equal to item view dot find view by ID, and the one we have is image view. Then lastly we will add the ID for this image view, and the ID is category image, that one. Okay, now how we can set this information, all you have to do is say category name, which is the one what we define it here, and find it by ID, and set the it value to text because this is a text, and we will get this text from the Unsplash dot category. Okay, then we have a category image. So how we can deal with this category image? It's actually easy. We can use for the image. What we will do, we will use a glide, and we will say with context. The context is come from here. Then we will load a URL. If you remember, we have a URL that we used in our data. So all you have to do is say unsplasher dot the URL that we need. Okay, and finally we will say into our image view, and the image view is category image URL. Right, let's change this, and don't worry about this because we will go into use another tutorial for learning how to use a glide and how to use a Picasso, because if you remember we have Picasso as well. Okay, right now we have a data, we pass in the data, we have a layout. All we have to do now, we have to come here and let's change this guy to parent. Okay, and this guy, it will be a view type, which we will not use actually right now. And here we have to get the layout for our view, right? So we will say val unsplasher view equal to layout inflator dot from, and we need to pass in a context in here as well. Then we will say inflator, and inside the inflator we need ID for the layout that we need, and we need a root or a parent or a group, view group, to pass or get this information and give this information into. Okay, so what we will do, we will say R dot layout dot, if you remember, we call our layout and splasher list. Then we will pass in a parent, the parent that we just used. Then we will say false, okay, for the attached to root. We don't need to attach to root. And if you see here, we need to return a unsplash holder. So we will say return unsplash holder, and unsplash holder is just need the item view, which is need the view to show this data, and the view is, we just made it, this is the view. Nice. Okay, so I think let's just for recap talk about this adapter again, and we will call this video done. And the next tutorial we will going to show the information on our device. Okay, so what we did first, we make up a class and we pass up a recycle view, then adapter, then unsplash adapter, which we pass it from the here. And when implement the information or the function that this adapter need, it's called this three override function. And the first function is on create view holder. When this view will be created, and when this view is created, it should return the view holder, which is this guy right here. And this view holder have a bind view, which this bind view need unsplasher and context, and this unsplasher and context is need to be get by integer, like by 1 by 1. Okay, so here what we define it, that we say, okay, unsplash holder, which is the unsplash holder, this class, we bind the view and we say, okay, we need to get the information 1 by 1 for this unsplasher, then pass in a context as well. And lastly, what we did, we returned the count or the number of the data that we have from our data. Okay, thank you for watching. We will be continuing the next one.